Did you understand you're charged with the offense of fraudulent use or possession of identifying information less than 5 elderly? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just briefly, Your Honor, he suffered with a drug addiction, which was the root cause of this case. The complaining witness is his grandmother. He feels terrible for what happened and what led up to this. He does intend, when he gets out, to help pay back this money that he took from her retirement check that she was receiving. And we just ask that you respectfully follow the plea bargain agreement we've reached with the state.
All right, State.
Nothing further.
All right, and State, did you speak with the complaining witness?
We have.
All right. And this is what she wishes?
She's okay.
Okay. All right. Court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with and restitution to Matilda Ramirez in the amount of $22,914.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, could we address, when he is released from prison, can we readdress the no contact order issue? I believe he's on good terms with his grandmother despite all of this. She currently puts money on his commissary book still despite all of this terrible situation. So I think that it would be her wish to have contact with her grandson.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, counsel, but sometimes you have to protect people from themselves until you are able to do better. You know, because sometimes I will tell you, in families, there's always that one person, be it the grandmother, the sister, the aunt, who says, well, I don't care if the rest of you are turning your back on this person who keeps stealing from everybody, but I'm not going to do it. So you've taken your grandmother's retirement. And I will tell you, grandparents, unless people are independently wealthy, the money that they receive once a month is a set amount that they receive that month. And it's usually, when they're getting their Social Security and they're worked hard all their life, it's usually barely enough for them to live the way they were living when they were working. It's usually, all right, I got to pay the mortgage. Hopefully the mortgage has been paid off. I got to get groceries. And in this day and age, everybody has to get medication. And so you took $22,000, well, really close to $23,000 from your grandmother. The fact that she is still putting commissary on your book, it tells me that she's not at the mind frame yet where she realizes she needs to cut you off till you're responsible. I find in my short time on the planet, even though I'm in the twilight of my life, everybody at the jail has always improved themselves. So once you improve yourself when you're on the outside, then perhaps it can be reconsidered for contact. But for now, it should be no contact.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question of what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And what drugs have you been using?
I had a really bad addiction with methamphetamines. I recently have had a life-threatening disease, I guess, if you will. I would not like to speak about it.
No, I understand.
Affect my life. So for the past 3-4 months, I had not been smoking any meth or even weed.
And how long have you been in custody?
I've been in custody for 1 month exactly.
All right. So if you would like, I can recommend the therapeutic community. Whether or not they accept you is completely up to them. I don't have any jurisdiction to force them to accept you. The therapeutic community will not increase your time in custody, but if you're placed in it, at least they can help you get on the right track or maintain your sobriety.
I would like to just follow the plea agreement, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
No.
Nothing further. from
All right, we can go
Chairman.
off the record. Here's the thing. There are a few people in your life who truly love you. And I can say this about myself as well, and who will truly be there for you no matter what. Your grandmother appears to be one of those people. Even though you hurt her and stole her money, she still put money on your books. You've got to start respecting your grandmother and respecting other people in your life who are trying to help you. And if your drug addiction is so bad that you're willing to steal from them, that's when you yourself, with the last ounce of morality you have, even though you're under the haze of drug addiction, you need to cut yourself off from those people. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Did you understand you're charged with the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of robbery? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
In attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We're asking to do so, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I would just ask that the court follow our plea bargain agreement. My client's been in custody for a very long time. We've negotiated for a very long time, and I believe that this is in his best interest. He's recently a first-time grandfather, and I have seen a huge change in his demeanor, and just, I think his outlook has changed very much. So I would ask just that you follow the plea bargain, Judge.
Okay. And what auto parts were you taking from O'Reilly's?
Some headlights.
And how much are headlights?
They were like, I think they were $50 or something like that. I'm not too sure, Your Honor.
So, and how long have you been at the jail?
15 months. Your Honor.
So you spent 15 months at the Bear County Jail, over $50.
I'm not proud to say, but yes, Your Honor.
So why didn't you just pay for the lights? And I'm sure if you would have just returned them, they probably would have said, okay, and moved on to something else. Why didn't you just return it?
They were no longer in my possession, Your Honor, when they found them. So it was really,
But why do people have to chase you down to give back their property? That's the number one thing that people are taught in school. Don't take what doesn't belong to you.
yes,
And how old are you?
I'm 35 now, Your Honor.
So you should have known that.
Yes, Your Honor.
It shouldn't take a grandchild to make you realize that you shouldn't take what doesn't belong to you. And the tattoos you have, what are they about? And are they related to an organization?
No, Your Honor. No, man. I only got, while I was in prison, I got associated because of tattoos I got before I went to prison. Your Honor.
No, I understand. The reason why I ask sometimes about tattoos, I'm just interested in tattoos. I always want to know about people's life because that tells me some things and help me make conditions for you. But the other reason why I'm always interested in tattoos, because some tattoos are related to different organizations.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So do you have any employment prospects? What are you going to do when you're released?
Yes, ma'am. I have my own lawnmower service. I do lawns. And my sister, since that's not working out right now too well because I'm locked up, my sister has her own construction business and she's waiting for me to get out to employ me.
All right. Do you have any children?
Yes, Your Honor.
What are their ages?
15 and 16, Your Honor.
15 and 16, and you have a grandchild?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who is
My daughter, Your Honor.
the 16-year-old?
No, I'm sorry, she's 16 now and he's 17.
So your daughter has
A
a
baby.
child with the 17-year-old.
She's a 17-year-old.
All right. So your daughter is now 17 and not 16?
No, my daughter's 16
Mhm.
and she has the baby
All right. And she has a child with a 17-year-old.
with another child her age. Yes,
All right. How many grandchildren do you have?
just one
Just one. And that's from the 16-year-old.
from the 16-year-old.
And is the grandchild living with you all? Or going to
Yes,
live?
he's in our house, but they have an adult that lives there with them
Okay.
at the time. Yes.
And who is the adult who lives with them? What
It's
is,
my mother.
okay. So your mother is a great grandmother.
Yes, Your Honor.
So she's taking care of her grandchildren and now a great
A
grandchild.
great grandchild, but only because of my absence, Your Honor. Yes.
Well, no, because
Well, yes,
Children know.
yes, you're right. Your Honor.
and has she graduated from high school?
She's continuing still. Yeah, yes.
All right, I'm going to sentence you to 8 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 8 years. There's a $500 fine that will be probated. Probation will do gang supervision. There's to be no contact with any O'Reillys.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think that leaves AutoZone and other places, but no contact with O'Reillys.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's going to be 100 hours of community service restitution. That can be waived if he completes parenting classes and probation, whichever parenting classes you think would work with him. So where are your children's, where is their mom?
This is another crazy story, Your Honor. She is actually back in the picture now and living there with them as well.
All right, so was Child Protective Services involved?
No, not for my kids.
All right, for her children?
No, we only have our children.
All
together.
right, okay. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Is there any drug issues with you?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we'll do regular UAs. Field visits. One time per month. I'm sorry, one time every 3 months. Probation, is there anything else?
Are we mandating the parents' classes or saying it's case?
Oh, no, I'm mandating them.
Nothing else.
Is there anything else you need from the court, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. I just wanted to clear something up for you because I think this is where you were kind of got the misinterpretation. I lost my children to the state and my mom adopted them.
Okay.
So that's,
All right, so I'm going to do no unsupervised contact with minors.
that way you understand that that's why I'm around.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to do no unsupervised contact with minors, and this is what I'm going to tell you about CPS cases, and your attorney can probably tell you this as well. I don't know what the legal paperwork says about her adoption,
Yes, ma'am.
but what I do know, if she adopted your children, which means that your rights were terminated and the mother's rights were terminated, I'm sure CPS is not expecting you all to act as babysitters or anything of that nature. You understand?
It's only, well, yes, ma'am, I understand what you,
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
it sounds like you gave it all to me already, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes,
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question of what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to the attorney. Do you understand?
yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. In this court, to be successful in probation, and I think you've been here before, so you know, communication is key. If there is an issue, let probation know. If you feel like probation is not addressing that issue, you can always come back to court and speak with me. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you're giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
No, ma'am. I mean, yes.
Oh, that's okay. Sometimes that last question is confusing to everyone, so I'll ask it again. All right, you understand all the rights I've just explained to you?
Oh, yes.
All right, did you understand by entering a plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
No. I didn't know.
All right.
Remember, we talked about how you have the right to a jury trial, the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses, and the right to remain
Oh,
silent.
yes.
And
yes.
remember that I said that in pleading no contest, you're going to be giving up those rights, right?
Yes.
So the judge is asking if you understand that you're giving up those rights.
Oh,
All right, do you understand that you're giving up those rights?
yes.
Okay, so I'm going to take it one at a time, okay? You understand you have the right not to testify. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You understand because you're in a plea bargain agreement, you can testify. You can be forced to testify. Do you understand that? You have to
Yes.
answer.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you understand that in cases such as this, the state would have to call witnesses to prove their case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so because you're in a plea, the state's not going to call any witnesses. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, if the state were to call witnesses, your attorney would get a chance to ask questions of them. You understand that?
Yes.
So because you're in a plea, what that means is the state is not going to call any witnesses and your attorney is not going to get a chance to ask them questions. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So the other thing you have a right to is you have a right to have a jury trial. So because this is a felony case, there will be 12 jurors on your case and the state would have to present their evidence and a jury would decide whether or not you were guilty or not guilty. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So because you're in a plea bargain agreement, you understand you're not going to have a jury trial. Do you understand that?
Ma'am.
And you understand that your attorney is not going to question anybody. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that you may have to testify. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. So do you want to continue with this plea or do you want a jury trial?
What's the agreement that we have? You remember what that agreement
Do you want to
is?
talk to her some more, counsel?
Sure, Judge.
All right, 2023 CR 0653, State of Texas versus Vanessa Varela. Counsel, did you have a chance to confer with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, do you believe she understands the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right, so Ms. Varela, but I have to make sure on the record that you understand, okay?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to go through it again. We'll just start from this point, all right?
Okay.
So you do understand that your attorney has the opportunity to question witnesses.
Yes.
You understand by entering this plea bargain agreement that the state is not going to call any witnesses, so there's nobody for your attorney to question.
Yes.
You understand that you don't have to testify. If this were a jury trial, you wouldn't have to testify. Do you understand?
Yes.
So because you are entering this plea, you may have to testify. Do you understand?
Yes.
And you understand that you have a right to a jury trial. So 12 people would sit in the jury box. The state would call their witnesses. You understand?
Yes.
So because you're entering a plea, there's not going to be a jury. You understand that?
Yes.
So did you intend to enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
No.
Okay.
Maybe just ask for time.
All
I
right.
mean, yes.
All
Maybe
right.
just
I'm
ask.
sorry.
No. So here's the thing. There's no need to be nervous. There's not going to be a trap door that opens up for you. How old are you?
19.
All right. How far did you go in school?
11.
Okay. So do you want a jury trial? Do you want to go to a jury trial where 12 people would sit in the box? It wouldn't be the people you see in the box now. It will be just 12 people who don't know anything about your case. The state would call witnesses and your attorney would have a chance to question those witnesses. Do you want a jury trial?
No. No, ma'am.
Do you want to enter into this plea?
Yes.
All right. Do both parties, the state and defense, do you believe that she understands the rights that she's giving up, defense?
Yes, Judge, and I will say that she was evaluated and she was found competent.
All right. State, do you have any objections with going forward?
No, Your Honor.
Find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, just that this is her first run-in with the law. As I stated, she was evaluated and found competent. There may be some mental health issues in here. I'm not really sure. But she is here with family. Her family has shown up every time that she's had court. Her plan is to take care of business on probation, put this behind her. She's got children who are being taken care of by their grandmother right now. So her plan is to stay with them and like I said, knock this out and put it behind her.
All right. So what drugs have you used in the past?
Marijuana.
Okay.
And that's it.
I don't think marijuana makes you steal a fire truck. So
Oh,
is there anything else?
ice.
Okay. So how often were you using ice?
2 weeks.
Okay. Is there anything, and the reason why I'm asking you these questions is because I'm going to follow your agreement, but I'm trying to figure out what conditions to give you so you'll be successful, okay? So there's ice, marijuana, anything else other than those two?
No, that's it. Oh, Xanax.
Xanax? All right. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, so the children that your grandmother, is your grandmother the person who's taking care of the children, your grandmother? How old are they?
There's 2 and 4.
And are you currently expecting or no?
No.
Okay, 2 and 4. All right, and was Child Protective Services involved or did your grandmother just step up to take care of the 2 children?
Yes, my grandma stepped up.
Okay. All right, and are you going to be living with your grandmother?
Yes, ma'am.
And does your grandmother want you there?
Yes.
Who's the grandmother?
She's at home.
No, she's right there. All right, could the grandmother,
Sure. And she is a Spanish speaking judge,
do you speak Spanish?
a little bit.
Have an interpreter coming.
All right, well, I just want to know if she's okay with her living with her.
¿Tiene problemas con Vanessa a vivir contigo?
Thank you.
Es el plan, ¿verdad? Para Vanessa a vivir contigo, ¿verdad?
Sí.
So, yes.
Yes. All right. Thank you, George. And thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Gracias. Thank you.
Gracias. De nada. That's all I know.
Well done.
All right. Thank you. All right. Come back up.
Oh, and that was her mother, not her grandmother.
So it's the grandmother to the children.
Children's grandmother.
Okay. All right. This is what I'm going to do. There's going to be a $1,500 fine that will be probated. 2 years. Well, I'm going to do 3 years deferred adjudication. Counsel, if she completes everything, you can always come back and ask for her to be terminated early.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's going to be 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once she completes those, then the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. So what do you want to do with the rest of your life? What are your hopes, your dreams? What's your dream job?
Working at fast food
Okay.
as manager.
Oh, awesome. Well, that can be done. So what are you going to be doing to make sure that happens?
Do my probation
Okay.
and attend my parenting classes.
All right. So I'm going to ask that you get employment too. Okay.
Yes.
So if you want to be the manager of a fast food place and who knows, eventually own a fast food place, that means that you've got to apply to those places because when you apply, maybe they will, but sometimes they don't. You don't come in as manager. You got to start at the bottom level, then work your way up. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And there's no harm in that. I used to work at service merchandise. It doesn't exist anymore, but I've had probably a lot of jobs, you could think of. I used to rake yards. I don't think they rake anymore. They use the blower now. People are wimps. You need to get out there with the rake in the hot sun. So I used to do that, back it up. So whatever your dreams are, that's your dream and it's a good one. And maybe you can help McDonald's. Their fries don't taste the same anymore. All right, I'm going to take in consideration County Court cause number 696657. I'm going to do a referral to felony drug court. I'm going to do that while she's in custody. Counsel, if you call them and tell them to expedite it, they'll expedite it and they'll probably be able to see her this week.
Awesome, Judge.
Yes, I'm putting more work for you. So we're going to do a referral to felony drug court. And the reason why I'm doing that, because they'll help you with your drug issues and also if there's any type of mental health issues, because I don't want to send her out into the world and then we're right back here. There'll be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular UAs, and I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month until further notice. And proof of employment within 45 days of release. No employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. And I'm also going to put in no unsupervised contact with minors. The only reason why I'm doing that is because of the issue with the ice and the drugs. Once she's in a program, once she's starting her parenting classes, I'll probably lift that. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need for me to be successful? All right. And Vashawn, if you could put also in there that she's to reside with her mother. Okay. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so if there's any questions that you have about anything, let probation know. If for some reason you feel as though probation is not answering your issues, you can always come back to court and let me know what they are, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, miss.
Oh, you're so welcome. And stay out of fire trucks unless they invite you, okay? All right, hello.
I'm
So how are you doing?
good, good. Oh,
Well, I mean, not good because you're seeing me. How old are you?
21.
All right, so here's the question for you. You are on deferred adjudication. Do you know the range of punishment for your offense is up to 10 years and up to 20 years in prison? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so the question you have to ask yourself is whether or not you're continuing to use is worth going to prison for 20 years.
No, ma'am. I have another kid on the way as well.
Then why kids or baby goats?
I have another child on the way.
So why are you continuing to use
Well,
drugs?
In the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, it was hard, and I was clean for 3 months. Then I slipped up at a function, and then
What function is this where people are smoking marijuana?
It was just for a fight, so it was really just me, my friends, whatever.
What fight?
The one with the what's his name? Honestly, forgot, but it was a fight. I know it
So
was a
you're
fight.
going to a fight and you don't even remember the name of the fight, but that's worth you potentially going to prison for 20 years.
No, it wasn't worth it, but I just had slipped up that day. And then it takes a while for me to get clean. It took 3 months for me to actually get clean. So I slipped up then.
All right, they're asking that you go to SATA.
That one?
Yeah, they're saying that you need to go to SATA.
Oh, what is that? I'm not.
That's inpatient treatment.
I don't think, because I know I could stop. I had stopped for those 3 months. Like I said,
Yeah,
I
but
just
you didn't do
slipped up.
well. I mean, you're stopping for 3 months and you're looking at going to prison for 20 years and then you continue to use. This states the defendant admits he is addicted to marijuana.
Yes, ma'am. Like I said, in the first year, I'm not gonna lie, it was hard, but I finally stopped doing it. Like I said, I just slipped up. I thought it wasn't really gonna be, like it was gonna stay in my system for that long, because it wasn't a lot, but then it's like. I
Because you
said,
thought you would get away with it.
not get away with it, but I thought I'd just get it out of my system.
Yeah, that's you thinking you would get away with it. If you're thinking it's going to get out of your system before you test it. When you drug tested today, what the results going to be?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I still come out a little bit dirty. Like I said, it took almost 3 months for me. When I actually stopped doing drugs, it took 3 months because that's when my PO said I finally came out clean.
Your Honor, may I,
Yes.
the last drug test that was done on 4/25 was positive for THC.
And do we have levels? Or no?
I can check it, Your Honor. So the only issue with that, Your Honor, is he was negative on his drug test on the 5th of April. Actually, he failed to submit. I'm sorry. He failed to submit on the 5th of April, March 14th. But in February, he was negative. So we won't have a baseline. I'll have a baseline, but I won't have any other information on the evidence.
All right, so this is what I want to do with him. He's going to do weekly testing, and it's going to be through the UA hotline. He's to be tested for levels. If those levels go up, we're not going to have another compliance hearing. It's going to be a motion to revoke file. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm going to want him to retake intensive outpatient treatment. And if it's not ordered, I did order parenting classes. Have you completed
Yes, ma'am.
parenting
I already
classes?
did that. Yes, ma'am.
You didn't learn anything from it.
Oh, I did. I mean, I don't do it. It's not like I do it in front of my kid or like do it in the house.
A kid is a baby
Oh,
goat.
my child.
Well, here's the thing. The fact that you're doing it outside your house, you can't tell me that you don't come back into the house smelling like marijuana.
Oh,
Let me just tell you right now, I don't drink alcohol at all, but there is someone who came in this courtroom who smelled of alcohol. I don't know who it was, but it nearly knocked me out.
yes, ma'am.
So the fact that you are using marijuana, your child knows that you're using marijuana. And guess what? Children are going to end up teasing them because they're going to come to wherever they come to smell like marijuana. And if you have a child that's on the way, I guarantee you that mother is probably using marijuana, messing up her baby's brain. And when marijuana is used in the household, it messes with the baby's brain development. These are critical years and critical times for infants. Their brains are developing. They're soaking up everything. That's why they're super intelligent. When children use profanity, they get that from their parents or whoever's around them because they repeat everything. The fact that you're using marijuana, whether you think they know it or not, they do. And you're going to send your child off to school smelling like marijuana so other children can choose them about their pothead parent. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're going to get your life together. If those levels go up, what's going to end up happening is a motion to revoke is going to be filed, and you're going to be looking at 20 years in prison, and you're going to be possibly going to prison for 20 years. And people ask you why you're here, you're going to end up having to tell them because you wouldn't stop using marijuana. Your time in prison wasn't worth you giving it up, and your children were not worth you giving it up. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And stop having children until you get your life together.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so he's going to retake IOP as well. Is there anything else you need from the
No, ma'am.
court? And don't go into any more fights, especially if you don't know the name of the people.
Yes, ma'am.
And honestly, boxing hasn't been great since Sugar Ray Leonard and Muhammad Ali. People don't even have skills anymore.
Yes, ma'am.
So, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to just point out a couple of things for the court. I know the court reads these very carefully, but I would like to bring to the court's attention that Mr. Segovia really doesn't seem to have any drug or alcohol issues, that he acknowledged his guilt. He was very forthcoming in the PSI. You will take note that he was the one that did not have the knife. He was actually with someone that produced a knife, and it was the other person's idea. And we understand the law of parties, but Mr. Segovia is just asking the court to go ahead and follow the plea bargain that we have with the state of Texas.
All right, and there's a restitution amount of $849.99.
There is that amount, Judge, yes.
Any objections?
It was my understanding that they had gotten the phone back, but I might be mistaken about that. And maybe if we could have a hearing on that if necessary.
All right, counsel, I'm going to order that because I'm reading the PSI report and there's no information in the PSI report or in the stipulations that the phone was returned. And I see as a part of your plea bargain agreement, it states the restitution amount of $849.99. That was what you all agreed on in the plea bargain agreement.
That's fine, Judge.
Okay. All right, anything you wish to say? Do you have children?
A little boy on the way.
How are you going to support yourself?
I'll work. I have a really good paying job.
Okay, you're going to have to speak up. I can't hear you.
I have a really good paying job. I mean, I work.
Who are you going to be living with?
My girlfriend and her grandma.
I don't understand why grandmothers allow their grandchildren, which means if her granddaughter is staying there, that means that her mother is not in the picture. I'm not going to allow you to live with this grandmother.
Her mother's in jail. Like her mom was never there.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. There's a cycle that's going on here where you have grandparents who are raising children, and then those children are bringing boyfriends into the home, having children with them. And now the grandparent not only is raising their grandchild, but they end up raising the great grandchild. It's like the grandparent is not supposed to be the person who's taking care of grandchildren and great grandchildren. And we all know that's what's going to end up happening.
She's not taking care of me. I mean, I pay bills there. I stayed there for like a couple of months already.
Mhm.
Judge, if I may.
Yes.
Mr. Segovia has had kind of a difficult upbringing, and I think that was touched upon in the PSI. He was raised by grandparents. He hasn't really had much contact. He has no contact with the mother. He's had limited contact with the father. While he's been in jail, really the only support system he has had is this girlfriend. And the only stable place that they have to live is with the grandmother. And that has provided some stability to them. He has been contributing to the bills and been paying when he was out. And he actually was pretty consistent in getting a job. He had a job at a fast food restaurant, and then somebody told him that he could make more money in construction. So he went and had a job there. So he's worked very consistently. He's indicated that he would like to get his GED to improve his position. But I really do think it would be detrimental to Mr. Segovia if this stable living place where he has been living would be taken away. And I can understand if the court maybe wants to attempt some kind of a transition period for Mr. Segovia and his girlfriend and their child to be independent, and perhaps with the help of probation, they can do that. But I think at this moment in time, and putting him on a long-term deferred, that it would probably be very detrimental to him to take away a stable living situation.
All right. With regards to this cell phone, it appears that the cell phone, I guess, was paid by Angie Camacho. So I'm just going to do restitution at $849.99 to Angie Camacho or Alan Hernandez, because I don't know
Sure.
which one paid for the
That's
phone.
fine.
In count 1, count 2, and count 3, those counts will run concurrently. The court will sentence you to 10 years deferred adjudication. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, proof of employment within 15 days, no employment as a home health care provider with minors, 120 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes with Triple P. Once that's completed, the community service hours will be deemed to be satisfied. You're going to either get a GED or some sort of trades certificate for a trade school, $1,000 fine, probated. With regards to restitution to Jathlyn, Jathyn Cantu, the court does not have any documentation as to what that restitution is. So the court is not ordering restitution to that person. It's agreed that you plead as a party with Joe Vitala. There's to be no contact with Damian Ortiz, Ortiz, Alan Hernandez. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month until further notice. What is his grandmother's name?
I don't know the name.
You don't know the name of the person you're living with? How can you not know the name, counsel? How can you not know the name of the person he's living with?
What's your girlfriend's name, Mr. Segovia?
City
What's her last name?
Martinez.
Absidy Martinez.
So what's the grandmother's name?
I don't really be over there like that. I mean, I live there, but I work all the time.
How can people not know who they're living with, counsel?
I don't know if it's listed in the PSI. I think it's just listed as the girlfriend's grandmother.
This is how people end up in trouble. You're staying with people, you don't even know their names, and you're acting as though you and this girlfriend are going to be together for the rest of your life, and you don't even know her grandmother's name, and you're staying in the grandmother's house. All right, probation. He's not, what's your girlfriend's full name? Ashley what?
Absidy
Absidy.
Martinez.
Absidy Martinez. Okay. Defendant is not allowed to reside with Absidy Martinez or her grandmother until he provides the full name of the grandmother. I'm going to want regular UAs. There's no request for TAP evaluation. Probation, is there anything else that's needed?
Your Honor, his TAP evaluation was complete.
Okay. It just says weekly UAs.
Yes, Your Honor. The only other thing I was gonna ask for his community service hours, are you gonna waive anything for his GT or trade school certification?
No. The community service hours will be waived once he completes parenting classes, but the GED and trade school, he's just gonna have to get that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? You need to speak up. All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?